Oh, to wake up in a fancy spaceship with everything at your disposal, and the only other person is Jennifer Lawrence? That doesn't sound bad at all. Not at all. Alright, let's get past the creepy little fantasy that I just had right now, you know. The boner I have is going to go down right now because I'm going to let you guys know about this because I was trying to figure out how I was going to review this movie because this is how I'm going to review this movie. I'm going to do a regular review at the beginning of this video. So after the opening little title and everything, I'm going to do my regular review, no spoilers. But then I'm going to tell you spoilers. Spoiler alert, because I'm going to give you the reason why this movie is getting shit on by critics. And so I'm going to give away spoilers and give away pretty much everything in this movie because, I just want to talk about that part. So you've been warned. Roll the opening thing. What's happening, film nerds? David, the Film Junkie here, bringing you a film review of Passengers. Passengers, of course, stars Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. I'm not sure who directed it. Not going to even mention his name. I know it's kind of an off name. But anyways, we know the story of Passengers. Basically, Earth has become overcrowded, overpopulated, and there's basically a ship that's sent out into outer space to go to Homestead 2, which is like Earth. And of course, these lucky people are gonna inhabit that planet and just rebuild, essentially. So about 30 or something years into the journey, we have a couple passengers wake up, not knowing why, and going, what the hell? I thought, where's everybody else and everything? Waking up on this ship and basically going, okay, we still got another 90 years before we're getting to Homestead 2. What are we going to do? We either got to go back to sleep or try to do something. And then, of course, weird shit starts happening. And then, of course, it is a very attractive man and a very attractive woman. So, naturally... of course, weird shit starts to happen. And we got ourselves a nice little science fiction thriller. And what did I think of Passengers? It was okay. Let me start off with all the good stuff about this movie. First off, Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence are great. They have great chemistry. There's nothing more you can ask from them. They're both on their games here. There's no complaints about either one of them. They work well together. Chris Pratt has his funny moments. She even has her funny moments. And when it gets to the serious moments, they do very well. The visual effects are absolutely great. They're pretty flawless in this movie. Quite beautiful. I know he paid homage to the movie Sunshine. He even admitted that he did, and you can see that in this movie. The visuals are pretty spectacular in here. And when it comes to the thrilling moments of the movie, it's shot well. A lot of it's shot well. It's all pretty much shot well. It's just what the problem with this movie is the story and the execution. The first act sets up the movie pretty well. It really does. I'm not going to go into detail until I do the spoiler part of this review. But it starts off pretty well. It sets up the movie. But then that second act, oh God, it gets... Well, everybody keeps on comparing it to Titanic. It's Titanic in space, and yeah, pretty much it is because it gets... sappy. I mean, it gets pretty okay, how long is this gonna go with all this shit? Let's start seeing something else happen. I want to know what the hell is going on. Why are they awake and stuff like that? Let's get it moving. And then that thrilling part starts to happen. The third act starts to come into play, and some more things start happening, and you're going, okay, it's building up. It's building up to something, and it's got a pretty suspenseful third act going on. And then when you're trying to here comes the pit. Oh. Okay, it really doesn't pay off. It really doesn't pay off, and it was just kind of disappointing because I'm thinking, okay, I'm referring back to that trailer and the trailers I've seen, and I'm going, okay, something else has got to happen, and something else has got to happen. I even said this in my first reaction review, is the trailer was misleading, and now we're going to talk about the spoilers of this movie. So if you haven't seen the movie and you plan on seeing the movie and the video now, I'll just say right now, the movie was okay. It just didn't play out and it wasn't executed as well as it should have been. And like I said, the trailers do mislead you a little bit, which I'm going to talk about. But I thought it was okay. It's not going to go on the wall of favorite movies of 2016, sadly. I was hoping it was going to. The actors did great. The visual effects are great. Cinematography, all of it's great. It's just the story really suffers. All right, guys, the spoiler part of this movie. Basically, in the movie, all right, or in the trailer, I should say, there's a line at the end where Chris Pratt says, "There's a reason why we're awake." That line is not in the movie, and there's no reason why they're awake. Yeah, that made you think this is some kind of mind fuck thriller sci-fi movie. No. This is what happens in the movie. Like I said, you've been warned with spoilers. Basically, the ship is going through an asteroid field, and it has like a little force field thing in front of it, so it blocks it all. But one gets through, and it goes right through into the reactor and starts fucking up the reactor. So like random glitches start happening throughout the ship. One of them being waking up Chris Pratt. No reason. It's just a glitch in the Matrix, which is kind of, I guess, Lawrence Fishburne. It's just a glitch in the system, so he wakes up, and he is on the ship for a year, and the only person he has to talk to is that bartender robot, and he's just, like, trying to take advantage. He grows his hair and his beard all long. He almost looks like Tom Hanks in Castaway, and then he's starting to get really lonely, and he comes across Jennifer Lawrence's pod. Notices that she's absolutely gorgeous, because she is, and then he starts looking at her video log and everything like that, and he's basically falling in love with her, and guess what he does, guys? You're right. He wakes her up. Doesn't tell her right away, too, but he tells the robot about it, which that's, of course, later in the movie. The robot spills the beans after the whole love thing, and then, of course, she hates his guts, and there's that whole tension, which was kind of like, okay, first off, that line, there's a reason why we're awake, totally misleading. There's no reason why they're awake because obviously there's a glitch to wake up Chris Pratt, and then Chris Pratt woke up Jennifer Lawrence. And I'm going, okay, that's where they fucked up. Another reason why they fucked up in the trailer too, Andy Garcia is in the trailer, so I'm thinking, okay, something's going on where Andy Garcia is going to show up, and a whole crew is going to show up, and something's going to happen. He's in it 5 seconds before the movie ends. He's part of the crew that ends up waking up 80 years later or 90 years later to find the stuff that they did on the ship, which I'm not going to go into detail with that. He has no line. And it's in the fucking trailer. Pitched the idea for this movie so wrong because I guess you can't pitch a love story, Titanic-like movie in space, so they had to make it like it's going to be like a mind-fuck thriller sci-fi. Maybe there's going to be aliens. I was kind of wondering that too, but there's not. And that's where this movie really suffered. And I think that's why it's really getting shit on by critics, because it's not a bad movie. It's just, it doesn't hit you. And the fact of the matter is, if they wouldn't have let it be known in that first act that Chris Pratt woke up Jennifer Lawrence, and they would have let it been revealed later to her as well as us, would have been way much more of an impact, would have been way better movie, and it wouldn't have gotten shit on by critics that much. And apparently, too, what I heard, because I guess this script was on, like, the black market web or something like that, where you can actually read it, because it was floating around Hollywood forever. It did happen in the third act. The reveal of that happened in the third act, and I'm going, because I was walking out, and I'm going, yeah, if they would have revealed that later, it would have been so much better. But they show him do it right there in, like, the first 20 minutes of the movie, and I'm like, come on! So there you have it, guys. That's where I'm like going, okay, that's where this movie suffered, because I was going, wait a minute, there's a line in the trailer where he says there's a reason why we're awake, and there was no fucking reason whatsoever. There wasn't. And like I said, it was just a meteor that just destroyed the thing and started making glitchy shit. Lawrence Fishburne wakes up. He basically wakes up to let him know, to help him out what happens, and then he dies. It's just like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, they kind of just... It was a great idea, but the execution was just not there. It didn't happen right. So there you go. That's why I think this movie is really suffering. But I mean, again, how do you sell a love story in space? Kind of hard to do that. They were kind of selling it, but they had it right in the middle of this like science fiction thriller. So there you go, guys. That is my little reason why that this movie's getting. But I mean, like I said, it's not a bad movie, but it's not like a great movie. It's just okay, you know. Just don't go in there expecting like, holy shit. Yeah, that's just the way it is. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts about it down below. Let me know if you saw the movie and if you agree with me down below. Of course, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my other channel, follow me on the social media stuff that's right up there, guys. All right, talk to you later.